He's the Superman that everyone hates. The child curses him and he throws the child straight into the air, waiting for it to fall and then catching it. The frightened child cried and went home to his mother. He drinks while chasing a mugger and ends up accidentally hitting a street sign, resulting in more police damage than the mugger. He jumped into the mugger's car. Countless bullets bounced off him, and he didn't shed a drop of blood, but the bottle in his hand is shattered and Superman is enraged. He picked up the car with one hand and smashed it into the office building, and ended up sticking them right into lightning rods. This action caused more socio-economic damage than 10,000 criminals could rob. So therefore the police and the public hated him very much. The news was full of voices cursing him, but Superman didn't give a damn about it. Until the day a car got stuck on the tracks. The train was about to hit it, and just at the last minute, Superman appeared. In one fell swoop, he flung the car to the side and then body slammed the train to a halt. In an instant, the locomotive was smashed to pieces and all the cars in the back flipped over. Another disaster. Everyone started blaming Superman. Just as everyone is pointing fingers, the man he just saved suddenly comes to Superman's defense and thanks him. Superman is a little touched because it's the first time anyone has ever thanked him. To show his gratitude, the man even invites Superman over for dinner. But strangely, the wife seems to be very annoyed with Superman. She picked on Superman's behavior at every turn, as if she wasn't afraid of him at all. After the meal, the man gave Superman a proposition. He wanted to repay Superman and change his reputation for the better. Superman didn't agree, but he didn't refuse either. It turns out that even as Superman, he is very lonely inside. 80 years ago, he woke up from a hospital and lost all his memories. No one ever looked for him. People were afraid of him, and he muddled through life. Although there was justice in his heart, he always unintentionally caused a lot of trouble to the people around him. So Superman decided to find a man to change himself, but the first thing the man asked him to do was to turn himself in, because every time Superman does something good, he causes a more serious accident. In people's eyes, he was far more frightening than a criminal. In order to change himself completely, Superman willingly sends himself to prison. But once in prison, Superman was in trouble because 80% of the criminals here were caught by him. Everyone tried to take advantage of the opportunity to bully him, so Superman punished them a little. As a result, his friends told him that the judge sentenced him to 8 years in prison. Instantly enraged, he no longer wanted to listen to his friend's plan. He crushed the cell door and prepared to escape. His friend was so angry that he called him a coward on the spot. Obviously, he only had to be patient for a little while longer. He would be a true hero when the people needed him. Superman believed in him again. He tried to make peace with his fellow inmates and everyone was happy for the change in him. Until the day the warden knocked on his steel door. It turned out that the city's crime rate had risen 300% during the time he had served his sentence. The police chief had to plead with Superman to fix the trouble. His friend was right, and Hancock knew the opportunity for change had come. This time he didn't crash into any buildings, but landed carefully and smoothly. Superman acted politely toward the police officers as his friend had told him to do. The changes were unbelievable to the cops on the sidelines. Superman ignores all the bullets and slaps the grenade away, easily saving a shot policewoman. Then he flew into the bank and the robbers got out one by one without seeing anything. Only the boss of the robbers is left. He holds up a bomb and says he's going to blow up all the hostages. However, a few minutes later, Superman comes out holding the robber's hand. With the bomb in his hand, all the hostages were rescued. At this point, the onlookers suddenly start applauding Superman. This was the first time he was recognized by the crowd after being disliked for years. That night, his friends set up a table especially for him to celebrate. Superman tells his story, but all he remembers is that 80 years ago he was seriously injured and lost all his memories. He wonders why his family won't come looking for him. He has been living on the streets all these years, alone until now. Upon hearing this, Mary, the friend's wife, strangely sheds tears. That night, the friend was happy and got drunk because of Superman's change. After he fell asleep, Superman went to tease his wife, but he didn't realize that he had just kissed her when she was suddenly thrown out of the window. He was shocked that she was Superman too.